Christ, you people suck. Wow. Wolverine wanted to be
Back in the days when we played video games, it was hardcore for the nerdy and lazy. Now things have changed and all our video games are also for the casual and lady. But that's okay, you know the score. We told you a million times before. Playing consoles, not just games, is in the past. And every week you listen to the best damn internet radio crew. It's the N4G podcast. It's the N4G podcast.
Alright, it's time. Another week of N4G Radio. This is episode 725. Whoa, things blown up already. Oh, you know what? Fuck it, we're just gonna go with it. This is for November 28th, 2022. Terrence is gonna be here, maybe, if he comes back, because his power just went out. But I do have Anthony.
Hi. It is going great.
Oh my goodness. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's the turkey holiday hangover, whatever. We in this. We can do a little talking about a few things, I suppose, and if he shows up later, he shows up later. Yeah, you want to talk about some video games?
Dude, I didn't play shit. All I have to say is, like, hey, everybody, do you take antidepressants? Don't forget to take them. Because, yeah, shit happens in life sometimes, and you're just like, you know, unless you have an alarm set, you take them, you try to take them at the same time every day, but then, like, you know, your schedule gets thrown out of whack, and then you forget to take them, like, 2 days in a row, and then you get the zaps. And, like, that's fun. And then, because of the weather as of late, I followed up the zaps, as I call them, because it actually feels like electricity is going through certain parts of your body at times, and you just feel generally messed up. After that, like, we had a really foggy day, and then the pressure change happened, and I had a terrible migraine. So, yeah, this week's been terrible. Take your meds, and fuck the weather.
I'll second fuck the weather, and yeah, you should probably take your meds. I feel like if I didn't take mine, I'd have a problem.
It's honestly, like, my thing is, like, with the weather, it's just, if it's gonna be foggy and it's gonna be the circumstances that allow that to happen, right? Like, pressure-wise, it just eases us out of it, but it's not. It's, like, really harsh changes from day to day, and yeah, like, I got woken up at 4:30 a.m. with a headache. Like, woken up by the headache, which is a terrible feeling, and if you've never had it, yeah, good for you. Ugh.
No, I definitely woke up with a headache, and it just, ooh.
No, not woke up with a headache, that's bad. No, woke up from the headache.
No, I know what you meant. Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah, that's fucking brutal, and then you're trying to get back to sleep. Yeah.
And just wait till you get old and you get woke up by acid reflux.
Oh, I've been there, but that's just because the reason why you and I have had that is you're not that old. It's because we eat like shit. You not anymore, but, like, that's the reason why.
Yeah.
I've had to start curbing certain things from my diet for that reason.
Oh yeah, it is a miserable feeling. Cause you can't go back to sleep no matter what you do because you just feel it. It's gross. Oh.
Yeah, so nobody wants to hear about Overwatch, and I don't blame them. And, like, hey, I booted up Kirby Star Allies because I borrowed it from a friend.
That's
it's a Kirby game. What the?
Which one though? Like
that's the because I reviewed because I bought it the Kirby Forgotten Land.
That was the one that was this year, right?
Yes,
okay.
The Kirby Star Allies was the one that, like, plays like a traditional Kirby game. It's a side scroller, and then you could, like, recruit other characters.
A Switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I kind of like the fact that you get to recruit other characters, because they do some neat stuff with that. But, like, yeah, it's a Kirby game. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna have the best time. you know, it's a Kirby game. I don't think a lot of Kirby games are amazing. Like, earlier ones, yes, and then, you know, later ones, no, but whatever. I enjoy a good Kirby game now and then. So, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I gave Kirby in the Forgotten Land on Switch an 8.5, and that's accurate. And then I gave Dream Buffet a 6.5, and that's just because, hey, like, if you play it by yourself, it's good. Fortunately, like, no one's playing online.
I mean, did you really think they would be?
I just wish they were, that's all. I'm allowed to do that.
The good Nintendo games online, they get rid of. Like, was it Tetris 99's not up anymore?
What?
Super Mario 100?
No,
Tetris
99 is still up.
Well, then maybe Super Mario 99 got
Super Mario 35 is not.
I thought Super Mario 99 got taken out too.
No, there's no 99. There was no 99.
What's the Mario multiplayer game?
That was 35.
Oh. Why do they call it 35? Because of the anniversary, I guess?
And 35, it was only 35 players.
Oh, I get you. Seriously. Terrence keeps coming in and out. His powers
off to a great start. All right, let's just continue the shit show, Ken. What did you play?
I'm fine. I was wondering why Terrence is in the fucking show. He keeps coming in and out. I don't know why.
I don't know.
What did I play? So I tried to play a little game called Primal Light, which is side-scrolling. I hate to use the word, but it's got a little.
Oh, Metroidvania.
It's got little souls in it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, like
you're
gonna die.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. So sorry, I've confused this with another game that's got not a similar-looking character, but
about Ghost Story.
No, it reminds me of there's a Metroidvania that has like a very similar pose on the cover, but the character doesn't look the same. It's like also this is very Genesis looking. Holy shit!
Yes, it is. It is straight up out of a you could have told me this was running on a Genesis, and I'd have been like, okay. But yeah, it's very much they're even called bonfires, the checkpoints. So take that for what you will.
Go watch the main character get like crushed into a pile of bones.
Is it a Souls game?
Oh, hello.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna be here if I can. I'm sorry, it cut off. It came back on like 3 times, and then when it popped back up, I was back here and I was listening to y'all. Then I tested the mic before I said something. So I apologize to any listeners if I'm talking and I'm gone. I'm having power issues. I don't know what's happening in the neighborhood, but yeah, go ahead. Is it a Souls game? Is that what you playing?
Well, it's a side-scrolling. It's kind of Soulsy. Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh god!
You're gonna die, and you're gonna start over, and then you're gonna die, and you're gonna start over. When they sent me the code, I looked at the videos. I was like, oh man, this looks like a Genesis side scroller. And then I started playing. I was like, oh fuck me, come on.
Everything has to be a soul. Man.
Oh well, it's not the only disappointing thing I played this week, so I'll just keep going. We didn't get the indie games, so I don't have to go through those this week. So maybe I'll talk about those next week. But I went back and started trying to play Star Ocean, the new one, the Divine Force. Ooh, that game is... Man, I've liked Star Ocean games in the past. I have. And like every time I try to go back to them, like the last one I played was one on the PS4. And I got like 5 hours into it and I was just like, wow, this is just bad. Like this just keeps getting worse the more I play it.
Was that the exclusive one? Because I think there was one that PlayStation got. Okay, I didn't play that one.
I forget what it's like. They always have some fucked up subtitle that I don't remember.
Some weird subtitle.
So I played this one, and like it starts off, I was like, okay, it's fine, and I started getting into the combat. I was like, oh, this combat's not great, and then like it stutters constantly. I'm like, come on. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's not good. It's not good. I played for about 2 hours. Rough. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to play this anymore.
That was generous, Lord. I gave it like an hour into the demo, and I was like, nope. And I'm like you. Like Star Ocean games aren't bad, and I feel like Jay has said this before. They're not bad. They just are kind of, but they're not great. You know what I mean? They're just kind of meh. They're there, man.
Yeah.
You know.
How do they keep getting made when none of them are like amazing?
Right. Yeah, like they just kind of skate by, like they just earn just enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, crazy.
My go back and play something this week. I got addicted into some Tomb Raider Anniversary. And I'm starting to feel like I never finished that game.
That's the remake of the first game?
It was supposed to be a remake, but they changed so much as they went along that it's more like an...
That was the second
like
game
homage.
of that trilogy, right?
Yeah, because the first was Legend, and then they did Anniversary, and then they did Underworld.
Okay.
Yeah, and Anniversary incorporates the grappling hook, which they introduced in Legend, and there's definitely some nods to the original game, like the title screen music is there, and the T-Rex is in a level, but yeah, this ain't the same game.
The T-Rex feels like it's Tomb Raider's whale from Sonic.
Kind of.
I got it.
Except it's only been in 2 games, though. Right?
Oh, it's only been in 2? I thought
they didn't bring it back
the first
for
game twice.
Was it?
I thought they remade the first game. No, I thought they remade the first game twice.
No. The first game, Core Design built 5 games on the PlayStation 1. They never remade the first one. Then they built that PS2 game and were like, fuck this, we're done. And then Crystal D took over and did the first 3 on the 360 PS3 era. And now they've done 2, and then Montreal did the 3rd one.
They did... Hold on, I'm looking at... okay, so Tomb Raider Chronicles was made by Core, published by Eidos.
Yeah, all 5 of the PS1 games were Core. And
Why did I think there was 6? And okay, so then Angel of Darkness, which is bad.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, sorry, that's right. Okay, yeah, Legend, Anniversary, Underworld. Yeah, there is no remake. Okay, never mind. For some reason, I thought during the PS2 era, which there was only 1 game, I thought there was 2.
Nope, just 1. Angel of Darkness was so bad, it ruined Lara Croft for the PS2 generation.
Oh no, Legend came out on PS2 as well, but I legitimately thought that...
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Legend came out on the PS2, but that's because it was still viable.
It was
when
that
it was
era,
made.
yeah. It was one of those, I for some reason thought there was another shot at it where it was also bad on PS2, but yeah, no.
Nope, just Angel of Darkness
man.
ruining everything.
That was Core Design. Its last game, I think?
Yeah, Core Design.
No, Core Design did 2 more games. Oh my god, I thought they had Smart Bomb and Free Running, both on PlayStation Portable.
Yeah, I know, I've never played those.
Okay.
Core Design,
they were.
Core Design cut their teeth on Sega CD, and they made some great Sega CD games.
I'm looking... Oh, they cut their teeth on Amiga first more than anything.
Well, I mean, they got popular because of the Sega CD.
Yeah, Battle Core, Soulstar.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing those Sega CD games other than that.
There was a couple...
BC Racers.
BC Racers is not good, but I thought they made...
Thunderhawk, Wolfchild.
Wolfchild's another one. Did they make Wild Woody? Was that them?
I don't see
They made a side-scrolling adventure game that I love, and I can't remember which one it was, and I swore it was on the
There's some
CD.
Genesis... Chuck Rock?
Wild Woody was a game about a pencil, and his attack was you would jump on people and erase their head.
There's Chuck Rock, they made that.
And Son of Chuck, right?
Heimdall. Chuck Rock, Son of Chuck, yeah.
I remember Heimdall.
Hook. They made the Hook game.
Oh, yeah, that Hook game is not great.
Thunderhawk, Wolfchild, Jaguar XJ22, 222.
Yeah, the racing game.
Wonder Dog.
Wonder Dog is the one I'm thinking of, the platformer.
Oh, okay.
Because Core Design tried to make a platformer mascot so many times.
Yeah, and then they did Tomb Raider in 1996, which is kind of where they start becoming more of a known entity for quality stuff. Oh my god. Then there's other stuff though. Blam Machine Head.
Oh no.
Swag Man.
Oh, for the PS1, I remember Swag Man.
Fighting Force, which was actually they tried to sell to Sega.
I played Fighting Force on the Nintendo 64 this week. I don't know why, but I did.
Did that game come out on the N64?
Yeah, Fighting Force
Was that
64.
a brawler?
Yeah,
What
it's
was
a
that game? That sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
it's a 3D brawler. They try to sell it as a Streets of Rage sequel, and
I mean, the
Sega's
characters
like, no,
even
good.
kind of look
like
Streets
Yeah.
of Rage characters.
I feel like they do. I do. I feel like that wasn't horrible. I feel like me and my brother
It's-
went through.
The
It had
second
co-op.
game turns into a shooter.
Yeah, the first game is okay, and then they made the 64 version, which is just slightly different, and then the second one's like almost like a shooter. It's crazy.
Yeah, I do remember the second one was way different from
They
what the
did
first one
Ninja
was. Yeah.
Shadow of Darkness,
Ninja Shadow of Darkness is better than you think it is. Maybe not
Fighting
now.
Fighting Force
No, you're
2. The couple Tomb Raider games. They did some Tomb Raider on portable consoles. And this is the one that I was really working up to. Project Eden. I like that game a lot.
Hey, Core Design made a lot of video games, and then
They made also Hurdy-Gurdy, which I think is now like a pretty expensive PS2 game, but at one point in time it wasn't at all. It's not great.
no
The concept's really good, and
Hurdy-Gurdy's okay.
yeah, you're hurting different animals, but it was a pain in the ass, and it was easy to lose, and then the load times were terrible.
Dude, the PlayStation 2 is home to so many weird, quirky games that you forgot about, like Magic Pingle and
Which I talked about on the
what's
Phoenix Down episode that's inaudible.
what's the
Graffiti Kingdom was the follow-up.
Graffiti Kingdom? But there's one oh, what is the name of this game?
What do you do in it?
Oh, it's driving me crazy. I just remember like it was like a 3D platformer, and the character had like a big butt, like it's a goofy butt. It's not like a sexy butt. It's like a goofy butt. God damn it! I don't remember what it was.
3D platformer?
Yeah, it's a weird name.
Is that the weird Stretch Panic?
Yes, that's what I'm trying. Stretch Panic, where you like stretch the character. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of. There's some weird stuff on PS2.
I
man.
miss that level of no, Hurdy-Gurdy's cheap still. I swear to God, at one point in time it
Well,
was
that was
super
when
expensive.
they could take more chances. When they could.
You
be
can
weird
take chances
and whatever.
now.
You can't. Well, no. Okay. Well, yes, you can artistically, sure, but because so much, and I think I've said this before, we might have collectively, business gets in the way of so much of that. So we have to make so much money. You know what I mean? So we can't go too far out of what we know will sell, or else we're going to end up losing that money that gets invested. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a weird circle. But you're right, I do miss the days of the PS2 and stuff when we would find crazy stuff like this, Stretch Panic, or Fat Princess on the PlayStation 3. That was actually a fun game.
My thing is that like I'm not expecting it from big publishers, but like it's one of those like even indie stuff, like Ken was talking about a Souls-like.
Yeah, that's what
Do
they
anything.
all are. That's what they all are.
Do anything.
No, you're
Do
right.
anything
but
to stand out.
But I feel like they want to do that so much, right? Because I'm sure they do, but because there's so much pressure because of inflation and just how the world is, they got to make money. So we have to put in what sells, and what sells right now, Soul stuff.
But this is
where
But
it
it's
was
not.
Battle Royale.
That's what's
that's
killing
just-
me
I'm
is
just-
like it's not like the games that
No,
people
it's not.
talk
I
about
agree.
are the ones that do take the chance. Like Inscription, everybody talked about that because it was unique.
Yeah, it's like I know I've said it. It's chasing that dragon, except not in the drug sense. But like, it's the. I'm trying to figure out the word for it, but there's the idea that if I just take a percentage of that market share, you're not that market share is taken.
Yep, I understand.
You're asking.
Yep.
You're like, I'm gonna make a battle royale. Okay, who are you getting to switch over?
Right, because that market is saturated. No,
Because-
I agree, but I think because Elden Ring was so big, right, and it had soul stuff, obviously. I think it's just become a buzzword at this point, and it gets attention when you see it, whereas we shy away from it normally.
Is it though? Because I haven't heard of any of these little independent Souls likes.
Nobody talks about them.
Nobody talks about them. We talk about them because Ken plays them for 10 minutes, says, I fucking don't like this, and then moves on. And we're the last person that I hear talk about it. I don't see these games explode or turn into indie darlings. There's two games that I can think of that are independent, that copied Souls but did something different. The first one is Salt and Sanctuary, although I don't think anybody's talked about the sequel. I don't know if the sequel's out.
They've made 3 of them now, right? And nobody's talked about any of them.
No, I think there's only 2.
I only know of the sequel.
Oh, I think he made a game in between too, but it didn't.
Yes, but I don't think it was a Souls-like, because that team also did The Butcher or something like that, right?
Yeah, and nobody's talked about those games like at all.
But Salt and Sanctuary was like, this is Souls, but 2D Metroid. Cool.
And then
the other one is
right.
Blasphemous is its own thing.
But
yes,
it is
it's Souls-like.
It is a Souls.
But so is Dead Cells. You know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna just talk about difficulty,
no, Souls. Blasphemous is very much a Souls game where you have the spots and you have to go collect your stuff. And
yeah.
It is very much a Souls
Blasphemous.
game.
Okay, so Blasphemous is another one. I think the art style on Blasphemous saves it. Like, it's really detailed. Pixel art, and then the other one I can think of is, and these are just independents. Is it's not Mortal Shell. It's Mortal Shell.
Mortal Shell is the gun one, right?
No. This is the one
that's
where
the one where you like have like an armor. I played it for like 5 minutes and turned it off.
You play as like Mortal Shell. Okay, I was right. You don't really pick a class. You take over bodies, and they have different abilities, and you can harden yourself.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It did something different with that, but like there are a bunch. If I type in Souls-like on Steam, how many games come out? How many games are people? I'm not saying they're bad games either, but it's just like you are asking for a part of the market that isn't just going to give you their money. Because they're busy playing other games. The Surge, for some reason, got a sequel, and so is Lords of the Fallen. They're good games, but
Surge isn't bad. Lords of the Fallen, I don't understand.
Surge had a gimmick, though.
Hyping.
Surge had a gimmick with attacking the different parts of the body.
Attacking limbs.
Yeah.
And it was robots, right? Which differentiated itself from
kind of,
Dark Souls.
But yeah, you're right.
Visually, you know what I mean? But it's just like, that's what I'm always asking is like, who is the audience for these games? I get it, it's not us, but I just wonder because it's like I've reviewed that game, Immortal Unchained. That's the other one that you're thinking.
That's the gun one, yeah.
That's the gun one, and it was just like, this is fine. I don't know who would play this over other Souls games, specifically the Souls games.
I tell you what, if Elden Ring wins Game of the Year, that's this year, right?
Yeah, that's this year.
Elden Ring just came out. Okay, if it wins Game of the Year this year, we'll see a whole bunch more of these. Like, the trend will continue. If it loses, I feel like maybe it will start to slow down. I don't know. I think it's just like what you said. Everybody's trying to chase a dragon that they're not gonna. It's like the game, the video game in South Park where he was like shooting up heroin, but he's like chasing the dragon that he's never going to catch. Like, they're not going to get this market share. You're not going to be as big as Elden Ring, right? So make something else. But I think they're just continuously hopeful. No, I don't know.
Not to bring up Tommy Tallarico, although everybody should watch the video on him from H Bomber Guy.
Who is he? Oh, wait. He makes music. He does.
Yeah, and he was trying to do. Yeah, he was trying to do the Amico. And the reason why I bring this up is just because the Amico failed because anything that comes out with the whole plot, because this was his thing. There are so many billion gamers out there that are not the hardcore audience, and if we can get just a percentage of that share, you know what? That share that you want is done by people who are playing on their fucking phones.
Yeah.
They don't want a home console. They're literally playing something out of convenience, not going really out of their way to play it. So you're saying, like, I'll just take a
Switch.
Or they already have a Switch. But it's just one of those things where it's like, how do you enter something if it's like, there's so many people, it's like there's so many people eating steak, and if I could just offer them buy chicken, No. They're eating steak. You lose. You aren't there.
I completely understand what you're saying, but I just feel like it's just the eternal optimist, right, of the entrepreneurial spirit or whatever. They're just so hopeful, like, this is going to be it. We're going to revolutionize. This is my shot. I'm not going to throw it away. And yeah, I think that's what it is. And everybody is, and it's just like, we're sitting over here like, no, you're not. You're not going to make it. Stop it. Like, you're just going to do something different.
I done forgot about your game and it ain't come out yet.
Exactly. Like, so it's just,
Oh, it's, yeah. It's something. All right. All right. I'll wrap up mine with 2 games I couldn't talk about last week, but I can talk about this week. And boy, I feel like I got whiplash from these 2 games. So I'll start with Gungrave Gore. Whew, that game is boring.
Oh man, you ain't never lied. Look at that.
Oh my god! Like, if you know how people say this reminds me of a PS2 game, Gungrave Gore reminds me of a fucking PS2 game. If you told me that was the game that came out on PS2, I would believe you.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
I played 2 stages, 2 levels, and I was like,
you played the whole
game.
The
first one. I figured after the first one, my finger was so tired of pulling that trigger. Oh my god!
Who thought that was a good idea to make it so you had to pull it instead of hold it?
Right? Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's an upgrade you get later. No. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's some melee combat that's gonna cool. No. Like, it's not. It's so boring. It's so boring.
Dude, you have to stand still to parry with your melee attack, and I'm just like, why? Oh my god, that game is just, it feels like they made that back in 2001, and it's just been sitting in a vault for 20 years.
Maybe that was the point. Maybe that was because it was the sequel, right? The original was on PS2. Maybe they were like, we really want to just evoke.
Dude, there's more than
PS2
one.
PS2 feel.
Is
there really?
Yeah, there's was there? There was the PS2 one. So let's see.
I think there's 2 PS2 ones. There's Gungrave and then Gungrave Revolution or some shit like that.
This is actually the first one I played. Like, I heard of them, but I never actually had played them. This was
Overdose.
the first one I actually messed with.
There was one called Overdose. There was also a VR game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, was it not good?
No.
Well, you know what? Playing this, I'm not surprised. How do these keep getting made? When was it really, really good on PlayStation? Like,
no, it was okay, but it felt like a PS2 game.
It also felt like it came out when, hey, this game looks like an anime. Also, I really like Devil May Cry right now.
It don't play anything like Devil May Cry.
After Devil May Cry. No, it does. See, I thought, because again, I never played the original. I thought going in off the trailer and stuff that it was going to be like Devil May Cry. Then I was like, this is not like Dante at all.
No, because you aim down sights with the left bumper, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Like, I don't understand who okayed these controls. Like, who?
The dude moves like he's on like a 4 axis. Like he's so stiff.
And I feel like that's because and it's funny because I was like really paying attention. I guess it's maybe it's because of how that coffin is attached to his arms. Because the way he has to hold it, like, I'm like, maybe that's why he can't run. Like, I'm giving him excuses, man. I'm over here trying to help him out.
I mean, it's on Game Pass, so don't waste your money.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, you can have fun with it for about 15 minutes, and you'll be like, you've seen everything. Because I've played through hours of that game.
I just realized something.
Don't change.
I didn't talk about
too much.
The end. You just reminded me. Game Pass. I remember because you're playing this for review. I played a game for Game Pass for a review, and I never talked about the ending.
Oh, we gotta talk about.
Don't fucking play Somerville, everybody. Don't do it.
Man,
but it looks like Limbo.
I knew.
It looks like Limbo, and Inside. Yeah, don't feel like Inside, and like all the bad stuff we said last week. Let me tell you about the fucking sub single frame a minute section. where the game I thought had froze, but no, it was just trying to catch up because there was so much shit on screen, and I can't guarantee you playing on. I get it. I'm playing on the old VCR model Xbox One. Maybe it's the Xbox One. However, I've played far more intense, labor-intensive games, resource-intense games. I can't imagine that it's the console, and I think it's more of the poor optimization. I legitimately didn't think I could get past that part of the game, and then I did, and let me tell you, stuff happens. And I realized something I didn't say in my review was like, I'm okay with not having a clear plot. A plot that has me asking questions is fine. But just kind of like handing me a bunch of shit, like where the plot suddenly changes and it doesn't feel like it's earned to that moment, where it just feels like shit is just happening. I'm like, I don't. Like, a little bit of dialogue would have fixed a lot of this, but, like, there's this weird, almost, like, tutorial section at the end. It was not good. It was not a fun experience.
It's crazy because, like, I was playing it, and then I watched you experience going through it, and, like, I immediately just deleted it.
The best parts of this game are when you're watching the alien invasion happen, and it so wants to do that, and then puts you away from that immediately, and you barely touch upon it for most of the game. And it's like, you look at Limbo. Yeah, Limbo gets away from the spiders in the early sequences, but they're still like, the world is out to kill you. And it's a minimal game, so it's really, there's not really a plot, it's just more of puzzles. Then you play Inside. Again, I only use these examples because one of the heads, the co-founders of this new studio, that is his pedigree. So you are going to sell this off of the idea that, hey, this guy had a hand in these two games. It better live up to those two games, because otherwise it just makes the other part of the team seem like the part that actually made it. So, and I'm not trying to be like really harsh there, but that's how you're selling this game. Like, if it was like, we had to dig and we found out, okay, right? Like, you know, if I had to dig to see like, oh, the guy who started this studio also worked for, I'd be like, all right, but that's kind of how they push this game. And, you know, the graphics aren't too different from Inside. Inside tells a story. The story is not necessarily the most clear plot, but from the beginning you understand this kid is somewhere where he shouldn't be, and you are trying to get away from people. And that is enough of a plot right there. In Alien Invasion, I'm trying to get away from aliens. That's all we need. But then it starts kind of getting even but then there's this rebellion and there's survivors, and like honestly the best parts of this game are where you're going through like areas where people have been hiding and you run across somebody and they run out and get themselves killed, and like you're like, this is a real thing that's happening, like this is scary. And then they throw you into an underground section for way too long, and then they throw you into it's just like, and the whole gimmick is this solid liquid changing thing, and the final section is just dumb. And I was like, I don't think this is as smart as they want it to be. I don't feel like I've done anything interesting. And the final segment, you're gonna get the bad endings. I early on said something last week, and I won't say it just in case people don't want to be spoiled on it, even though, again, I wouldn't tell you to play this game. I noticed something early on that was happening with like these little alien characters that were rolling around, and I was like, that's interesting. I'm sure it means something. And it does, and that's how you get the good ending. But they put you through so much just not interesting gameplay in between, then I'm like, I wouldn't give a shit anyways. Just end this shit. Let's wrap this shit up already. Like, this plot has taken a nosedive. Let's just end it. So, yeah, I don't recommend that game, and it's very disappointing, because that's really... I love reviewing those games. I've given it 10 to one of those types of games before, which is Unraveled 2. I thought was a masterpiece of that type of game, and I played... Like, one of my earliest horror experiences is the beginning of Out of This World, which is what it was called on Super Nintendo. It's called Another World if you buy it now. I fumbled with Flashback as a kid, and so I have this love for this type of game, and this game just fucking... Somerville just tries to deviate so far from that type of stuff, and it's like, every deviation is bad, and anytime they try to tell a story is bad, and then the optimization is bad. Cool.
Sounds like a good time.
No, it wasn't.
At least it's on Game Pass, so people don't have to pay money for it.
Yeah, I only play this game on Game Pass. Only play this game on Game Pass. Don't buy it.
All right. The last game that I could probably talk about now is Evil West. And it's funny, because Gungrave Gore feels like a PS2 game. Evil West feels like a 360 game. And that is not a detriment to it, because it's actually refreshing to play a game that is just unapologetically that game. It is a third-person shooter. You go from point A to point B. You go... combat always happens in these arenas. Like, it's one of those games where you know when you're about to have a fight. You're going to see it. You're going to have the fight, and then you're going to move on. It doesn't try to add a bunch of RPG mechanics, although they are there. But you know your RPG mechanics don't mean a whole lot when you look at the skill tree and you're like, there's not a whole lot on here that I'm excited to get. Like, there will be stuff that I pick up as I progress through the game that will help me, but there is nothing here that's like, oh man, I can't wait to get that.
See, that means they probably just shoehorned it in there then.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't need it. Like, some of the stuff, like, you could have just given it to me, and I'd have been like, okay. Yeah. Like, one of the upgrades is, like, an extra bullet for your rifle. Because you don't collect ammo in the game. Like, your rifle is a cooldown. Your 6-shooter is a cooldown. You do collect energy for your gauntlet, because you've got this gauntlet on your arm that you can use to, like, electrocute the enemies and then, like, explode them. The enemy variety gets a little repetitive as you get further in. Like, it introduces some really cool enemies early on, but then, like, you're fighting the same, like, tree trunk head dudes and vampire dudes for most of the game. It is very much like it's like Gungrave Gore. If you played the first level, you kind of know the rest of the game. But it's not bad in this one because the locations are interesting. The story, as cheesy as it is interesting. The combat doesn't suck. Like, it feels good. It's weird that it's not... It's hard to describe, because if I say it's melee and, like, range-based, you think Devil May Cry, but this is so far from Devil May Cry. This is still a very up-close and personal kind of game. Like, you get a shotgun at some point, which becomes a cooldown weapon. You get a flamethrower, which is on a cooldown. And, like, you can use the flamethrower to collect hidden objects, but I'm going to be real honest with you, everything hidden is either a new hat or some money. And you use the money to upgrade, like, it's a separate skill tree that's only upgraded with money. So, and, like, everybody's been complaining because the 60 frames per second mode is at 1080p. Yes, it is very blurry in the 60 frames per second mode when you're playing on a 4K TV. Like, the characters look very washed out, and it just further enforces, like, the 360 mentality of the game, because it looks like a 360 game running on new hardware because it's so blurry. But it's a good video game.
Is there a combo system to the, like, kills and stuff? Like,
there's no counter on the screen, but there are things you can do, like you can launch people and then punch them into TNT barrels because that's always a good time.
Sure.
Enemies have like a weak spot that shows up as this big circle, like yellow circle on them if you shoot them while that's happening, like you do extra damage. There's finisher moves, like they'll glow and you can walk over and grab them and break them in half, and it's very gory.
What's the title of this one again?
Evil West.
I'm sure that won't
So
get confused with Weird West at all, which also released this year.
Yeah,
Right.
Weird West is a different.
but they're very different.
Yeah,
I know,
very
but-
different game.
Weird West. Evil West sounds good. So it just sounds like it's more about the, like you said, up close and like the action. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna kill arena basically. You go in there and fuck some shit up and move on and fuck some more shit up. Like that's
Well, that's
Okay.
what you do. There's puzzles in the game, but
Yeah.
like none of them will even make you think. Like it's just like, how do I get to
Okay.
that point? Oh, there it is. Okay. Like
So, I got you. So, I'm curious, because it looks like, because I was a fan, and I think Ryan was as well, of Dark Watch. I don't know if y'all played that.
yes, Dark Watch was a
on the original-
Metroidvania kind of though, right? If I remember.
No, Dark Watch is
No.
a first-person shooter, and there was choices to make.
That's right.
Yeah,
it was a
in the
choice
Wild
game.
West.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was in the Wild West, and it was similar in theme to Evil West, like, because it's in the West, and he's like fighting monsters and stuff. And I was just like, man, they could have just made this a Dark Watch game, because Dark Watch was awesome, but it never got a sequel. Because I guess
High
I don't know,
Moon
sales or
Studios.
whatever.
Yeah, the guys
Yeah,
that
that's who
made
did it,
the
yep.
Transformers games too.
Transformers.
Yeah.
Yep, they did Transformers.
And now they
Dark
just do
Watch was
Call
so
of Duty
good.
and Destiny shit.
They don't do
Yep.
Destiny anymore because it's not owned by Activision.
Oh,
No,
that's
they just
right.
do
They
Call of Duty.
that's right. 2017, they did the PS4, Windows, and Xbox One Destiny
See,
stuff.
And I know,
And then,
I'm
yeah,
sure we'll talk
just
about
Call
it in
of
the
Duty,
news,
yeah.
because every week there's Microsoft stuff, but I'm just going to say this until then. That's what I most am hopeful for if this deal actually goes through, that they unshackle some of these studios like High Moon and some of the other ones that they own, that they
Toys for
relegated to
Bob.
just Call of. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Do they do Call of Duty too?
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, like they should unshackle some of these studios and let them make something else and not Call of Duty. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all I had to say about Evil West. I like the game. You shouldn't expect, like some revolution. It is literally just what it is. And you know
Also,
what?
I believe
Sometimes that's
Hard
fine.
West. I believe Hard West 2 came out this year as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Indeed.
Western games this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all with just blank West in front of it.
They need to make a game called Adam West.
I was gonna say Frank West.
Oh man,
Man.
fucking
I
Dead
would play that.
Rising
I'd
coming
play
back
both
up
of
in
those.
here.
Yeah.
I like Dead Rising. I miss Dead Rising. All right, that's all I got. Terrace, do you have anything since you're here now?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do it real quick because I don't heaven knows with my pirate mobile out. So, I played some more Warhammer Dark Tide. They added some more content into that. It's very good game. It's a lot deeper than Vermintide, at least to me. So I mean, because on the outset, I mean, you look at that and you think it's just you're just gonna run around and kill monsters, but they're actually the team composition comes into play. How and when to use different stuff. Like there's different feats that you unlock as you level up your character that will tweak certain things. So I play a psyker. So if I do a head pop, I'll get I think 5 warp or something, and the warp does extra damage. So I mean, you have to play with your different attacks and stuff. So there's a lot of strategy into it. You can find success just hacking and slashing, but if you really want to play that game, it's yeah. What else? I played too much Hearthstone, which is a card game that is old and everybody knows about it. What else? I played Overwatch with you guys.
That's
Had
right,
some
you did.
Good times.
Legit
Anthony
question:
missed
Are you
this on that one day? What's up?
are you not playing Marvel Snap?
Yes, I am playing Marvel.
Okay.
Snap. I play Marvel Snap every day.
Have you seen the Uncle Ben card?
No, I have not.
What the fuck?
Does he have a? I did not. Is it a legit card?
I believe so. Yes.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I want you to guess what the power is.
Oh God.
Oh man! Like, first of all, Marvel Snap is also a very good card game. I don't talk about it because y'all don't play card games, so I just it's just
I don't
whatever.
play phone
But
games. Fuck your phone.
Well, you can put it. It's on Steam too.
I don't play
If you
Steam
want to
games.
play it on PC. Well, you know what? There's just no. That's like in Overwatch. Let me tell you something, Anthony, because you weren't there. You weren't there. He is the worst coach ever, right? Oh, you sit here playing, and I'm like, oh shoot, I missed the shot, and Ken's like, should have shot harder. What? Are you okay? So you're still playing? You're like,
Where's
oh, man,
my feeling? And it's you and me on the point, Terrence. I'm on the thing we're supposed to do. You asshole.
Hey, it's like you're like, oh man, I lost him. I don't know where he was. You should have looked harder. What the fuck? You're the worst coach. Oh man. But anyways, what else did I play? Marvel Snap, Hearthstone. I played a lot of Warhammer.
Did we ever figure out what Uncle Ben's power is? Because now I want to know.
Yeah, I thought he was going to send it. I thought he was going to send it to the
posting
thing.
it in. If it will copy the link. God damn it! There we go.
I did play some Final Fantasy. That looks like that might be.
Oh my God! Oh,
that's
no.
probably legit. Actually,
when this card is destroyed, add Spider-Man to your hand, Uncle Pro.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I don't have
God.
I don't have Spider-Man yet. But that actually probably is a legit card, and he's probably gonna get nerfed because him being a 1/2 makes him really good for a destroyer deck. Because if you play Carnage, he gets +2 for each card he destroys, and he's a 2/2. So throwing away Uncle Ben and summoning a Spider-Man who can lock them. Okay, I'm talking too much about Marvel Snap. Anyways, if that's a legit card, that's good for people that play.
I mean, it's just wrong though.
Decks.
Like it feels.
It is, but it's fun.
Oh my God! When this card is just when you kill Uncle Ben, you get Spider-Man. Oh.
But is that not what basically happens?
Yeah, but still, that's like making a Bruce Wayne, Thomas and Martha Wayne card. When this card is destroyed, the vengeance.
It's when all the when the pearls hit the ground, add Batman to your hand.
It's got to be in slow motion pearls.
Oh man, that's awesome. Oh God. Okay. What else did I play? Battlefield 2042. Actually, I played that, so it's on Game Pass. I think we talked about it last week before it hit Game Pass. And you know what? I know y'all ain't gonna fuck with it because you don't really play those. It actually is really good. And I've always been let me say they fixed it because it was bad. Like I played it, when it first came out and it was rough. But they've actually managed to turn it around like they did with Battlefront 2, which cool, good for them. But why we can't just lead with our best foot, forward and do this in the first place? But yeah, so Battlefield 2042 was fun. I'm gonna say that's it. I know I've played probably other stuff, but
I mean, we always play other stuff. I boot up shit all the time.
Yeah, I do. Diablo. I played some Diablo 2 because I was like, man, I feel like dungeon splunking, so I dropped in on some people's games. Some Diablo 2 remastered. A bunch of them. It's funny. A bunch of people had lobbies where they're just giving items away. Like you go in their lobby and it's just like stuff all over the ground. They're just dropping a bunch of loot that you can take back to your game and sell or whatever.
I played Rock Band this week, of all things.
You know what? I saw that. I saw you online. I was like, man, this man done unearthed his instruments.
I did.
He's only playing Wonderwall.
Dude, I don't even have that DLC. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if that was Guitar Hero. It was just a joke, Ken.
I do play like the same.
Game that's in.
I do play like the same 5 songs, and every time I finish, I always play the same song to finish my to see if I can beat it.
Nice.
Fucking play Freebird, and then I fail in the solo, and I turn it off.
The only part that I really wanted to play with Rock Band, and I don't know if I actually ever bought it, was just the drums. Like, because I did Guitar Hero. Justin is actually one that got me into Guitar Hero. I remember when we bought Guitar Hero 2 on 360. He like came over to my house and oh my god, we played Guitar Hero for probably like 7 hours. It was ridiculous. And I
Dude,
was
we
like,
used to have nothing but fucking Rock Band / Guitar Hero party. Like when we all got together, that's what we did.
nice.
Like just play that game. You get drunk and you play Rock Band, and it's people singing and shit. Oh man.
Yeah, see, I man, damn, I'm sad I actually wasn't I didn't actually, come to that. That actually would have been fun. Yeah, I always wanted to do the drums with Rock Band. Singing, I'm sure I would fail because I don't know half the songs, like any of those songs. There were some that I actually like started to like. So like Paramore, I think might have been one.
That's one of them
And
like angry bands, right? One of them emo bands.
yeah, it was at the time. Well, it was one of Justin's. I think he
So
liked
yes,
the
angry and
girl
sad. Got it.
at the time. Yeah,
yeah, female
So
vocalist.
it was. Yeah, I
They're
like.
still
Yeah, I
around.
think he liked the.
She's
female
gone a bit
vocalist.
poppier.
Okay, yeah, but so it was one of those songs, and then a couple of like I think Primal had some songs. But yeah, anyway, reminiscing now. But go ahead.
It's a good thing
Yeah,
we
all
didn't
the
have
good stuff.
smartphones back when we played that, because
Oh man,
there'd have been some
The
videos.
oh the TikToks.
All of the TikToks. I don't even know anybody that has a TikTok account, so there is that.
Well,
Oh, you do. It's
You-
me.
Oh, you have one?
Ask me. Yeah, ask me what I've done with it.
Nothing?
Absolutely nothing. Somebody said you should get it, and so I downloaded and made an account, and then I've done nothing with it. And I was like, that's fine.
All right, well, let's talk about what's out this week. Boy, it's after the holidays. We're doing the run to the end of the year, so we've got some pretty big games out this week. We start off with Soccer Story, the Night Witch, Astro Knight. This is all Series X, PS5 right now. Gundam Evolution finally making its way to consoles.
cannot wait.
Megalon 11, Until the Last Plane. New Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja. I'm pretty excited to play that. Warp Drive. And then on Friday is the big drop. Holy shit. We got Marvel's Midnight Suns, Need for Speed Unbound, and the Callisto Protocol all on Friday. And then,
Sorry, what was the middle one there? We got Marvel Midnight Suns. Not interested in it. I'm not interested in Callisto Protocol.
Need for
'Cause I
Speed.
can't play it.
No-
All right, so there's two big games in Need for Speed. Cool.
Dude, don't even
I'm
like
sorry, that series has been so dead in the water. Every time they come out with a new one, it's like a fart that dissipates very quickly. Everybody's like, "Oh, can you smell it?" And then it's like, never mind.
So real quick, sorry, that Uncle Ben card, it is legit. Like I'm in the Marvel Snap Discord and just asked them. Yes, that it's not out yet, but yes, it is legit.
Oh my god. PlayStation 5 is pretty much the same stuff. We're also getting Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered, Sword of the Vagrant, and a bunch of stuff that's already out, including the Eternal Cylinder, which we still need to give away codes for. I keep forgetting we need to do that. So, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, same stuff. Dungeon Munchies is the only thing I see different on that list. Xbox One. Well, I'm really interested to know how Callisto Protocol is going to run on old systems. Oh, show.
See, now I'm interested. I thought it was only new systems.
No, it's on
No,
PS4 and Xbox One as well.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Also,
And it's
Cobra
the
Kai
cheaper-
2, Dojo's Rising. I
No,
thought that
I'm
came
not
out.
in none.
Did that not come out?
Yeah, it came out like I thought you talked about it like
Probably
weeks
a
ago,
physical,
actually.
probably physical version or some shit. Who gives a crap?
I don't know. Like I saw nobody talk about it when it came out. Probably because it was $50.
As it should be. Yeah, at $50. Go fuck yourself.
As is tradition. All right, Nintendo Switch. We've got Car Parking Madness School Drive Mechanic Car Game Simulator 2023. Say that 3 times fast.
I was gonna say.
Elevator Action Returns S Tribute.
I saw that. Kind of had. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I want Elevator Action 2. That's the game, man. Ooh.
Elevator action in general is a pretty interesting series. I'm very bad at them, and I've never had a good time playing them. But I'm like, I want to. God damn it.
Super Street Racer, Code in a Box.
I hate
Donut
those. What? Don't waste the plastic, everybody. Jesus Christ.
Donut Dodo. Inscription for the Switch. Jelly Car Worlds. Lover Pretend. Papatura. Railbound. Tomomi. Work From Home. WRC Generations. Intrepid Izzy, which I got a PR about this. They call it a Dreamcast-inspired platformer, and I'm like, but it's 2D. I guess it makes sense.
I'm looking. Hold on. I'm looking. Oh, you know why? This is a game that was. This has been on Dreamcast. This was a homebrew for the Dreamcast.
Oh, well, it's coming to Switch, PS4, and Xbox this week, so...
I have to... Give me a second here. I have to show you something that came out this year. I had a friend send me it, and I was like, why have I not heard of this game? Speaking of Dreamcast-inspired stuff, this looks like a Sega Saturn PlayStation 1 era 3D platformer. And I was like, oh my god.
Fucking speaking of inspired, Super Kiwi 64 is also out this week.
I really kind of like the first game, so I'm hoping it's even better than the first.
We've also got Resident Evil Village Cloud Winter's Expansion, Sakura Succubus 6. Don't Google that game.
I'm good, thanks.
Serialim Ultimate and The Outbound Ghost. Those are your...
The Outbound Ghost?
Yeah.
Don't Google that game either. Oh, Lord.
No, Outbound Ghost is an adventure RPG about helping ghosts ascend to the afterlife, battle the past using figments of your personality.
Okay.
It's got mixed reviews. The recent reviews on Steam are mixed. All reviews are mostly positive. It's got a Paper Mario sort of look. All the characters are 2D, world is 3D.
Okay.
It looks good. I've just never heard of it. Huh.
Well, you got 30 days to get your Game of the Years in. Let's roll. I've got a couple pieces of news, nothing major. Mario Kart DLC 3 is coming December 7th. The next set of tracks. Always cool, except for the tour tracks. Those are kind of boring. Hyperkin. You may remember they brought back the Duke for the Xbox Series consoles. They're now bringing back the 360 controller. So, if you ever wanted your 360 controller, you can...
I don't fully understand why.
It's wired, too. So.
No, I understand it's why, like, for PC, but, like, why specific... Like, I personally don't feel enough difference between the Xbox One and the Xbox 360 controller.
Oh, there's a huge difference, but I wouldn't go back at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not enough to go back to.
No. The Duke is a novelty. Like
the Duke was a novelty, and it had that little screen in the center that did the original Xbox startup and shit. But like, I use a wired Xbox One controller on my PC from PDP, and it's like great. I don't know why I'd go to a 360 controller.
Yeah, no, the only 360 controller I use is for my 360, but that changes this week because I got sent this little device that'll plug into any Xbox and let you use any controller. So I'm going to start using my Xbox Series controllers on my 360, and it's going to be glorious. Can't wait to play with that. The Witcher 3 next-gen update. We've got all the deets here. There's a new quest inspired by the Netflix series. We've got improved visuals, including ray tracing, improved screen space reflections, improved foliage, improved textures, FSR 2.1 support, DLSS 3 support. It now has cross progression, so you can carry over your latest save between consoles. And Terrence just got knocked the fuck out.
It's you, me, Ken.
A new camera option, quick sign casting option, map filtering and hide minimap option. There's now a photo mode. They're also integrating some popular community and developer-made mods. And they're offering fixes for quests from Ophir's Distant Shores, Scavenger Hunt, Wolf School Gear quests, and more. So it's a pretty big update. But yeah, if you want some Mo Witcher.
Yeah, I haven't played the original, so.
Oh man,
Dude, I know that's the reason why I just want to focus on backlog at this point.
The
Can't keep
backlog.
playing new shit. Yeah.
Jedi Survivor is going to be announced at the TGAs and the release date for March. That's
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, the new Fallen Order game.
Oh, I forgot that sequel was. I forgot about that.
In case you're wondering why Terrence's audio is not different, he is on a telephone.
Yes, I'm sorry. I probably sound really crazy because I'm totally on my phone now because my power has gone out and it has not come back on. So go ahead. Sorry.
Is it windy there? Because it's supposed to be windy today.
It is windy. Yeah.
I'm wondering if power will hold up here. Don't fuck with my football. Wind.
Oh man, it keeps going off and on. Like it was coming right back on. This is now the longest it's been out, so it might have whatever happened might have actually messed up. But go ahead. Sorry.
It's dead, Jim. It's dead.
The power is deep.
Koei Tecmo, Rumor, Ninja Gaiden, and DOA are both being rebooted. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That was it. Like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if we need more Dead or Alive. That game was good.
No, go back to not having it be just Booba.
I mean, it's always just
Right.
been Booba.
No, not. I mean, at one point that was like I don't know, yeah, because the ads definitely leaned into it. It was just one of those, like, I don't know. It's a good fighting game. It just makes you feel uncomfortable the entire time.
Oh, 100%. Like,
It's a great fighting game. That was the first one I played was DOA 4.
oh
And I
wow.
sucked. Yeah, yeah. My friend, the one on 360. My friend got me into it, and like the counter, Hayabusa was my dude. Oh man, like I practiced, like, and I was just average at best. Never could beat him, but that game was so good. The counters and stuff, the Azuna drop, that move was so sweet, and it looked good. But yeah, it did devolve into boobies.
I mean,
basically.
the campaign for the third game was She Kicks High. I mean,
Yeah, that
Come
was
on.
it.
Well,
I
wasn't
didn't
one of the
see
ads
stuff.
literally a bunch of guys sitting on the couch watching the boobs jiggle?
I mean, dude, you
Wow.
need to go back and play the first game. That like a stiff breeze will move them all over the place.
Yeah, back in the day.
Why
it
would
was
you use the
excessive.
word stiff?
I mean,
He
why
did it on
wouldn't
purpose.
you?
Right. But yeah, back in the day, the jiggle physics on the boobies was excessive.
Oh,
like,
God,
yeah,
it
anything. And they would just go, the girl would about slap herself in the face with them. It's like, why? No one's boobs moves like this. Who was the model?
And then it just devolved into dress up time with like 6 billion
Yep.
costumes that now you have to
Oh.
pay for, which are $100 DLCs. By the way,
Is that the new one?
Yeah, 5 and
what is it,
6.
6?
5 and 6 both had like $100 DLCs for costume
That's
seasons.
insane. That's insane.
Yep. This show feels crazy because we just had Drew join.
Yeah, I'm here.
And Terrence's power goes out, so he's calling it from Bosnia on the telephone.
Yep. It's we're good here. Though we found a safe spot, so it's all right.
He's in a corner on a telephone. Just picture it. All right, the last bit of news I got is all about this Activision Microsoft shit that we got all kinds of news about this week.
God.
So apparently Microsoft, we'll start with Microsoft offered PlayStation a 10-year Call of Duty deal. Like, dude, you ain't getting no better than that. Like, that's excessive. Like,
I mean, right? And why would you even need it? Like, because like I said, if the whole deal is that you need to make your own thing, like Y'all could take 5 years to R&D it, which honestly is way too much for R&D, and another 5 years to develop, and then you don't even need Call of Duty. In the meantime, you're making money. Like, I don't understand. Because they didn't comment on the deal, right? Like, they didn't say yes or no.
Yeah, they didn't comment on the deal, and then in turn, this was so. This is I've been saying this for a long time. They are playing with fire if this does go through, because not only did they not comment on the deal, they then burned every bridge they possibly could. They basically called out Battlefield and said it was pathetic. They said Microsoft wanted them to be like Nintendo and not compete in the 18-plus shooter range. I'm like, if Microsoft wants you to be like Nintendo, what, they want you to make more money? I don't...
Nintendo's more successful than both of you guys combined.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah,
I bet Microsoft would love to be like Nintendo.
Yeah, like, you sound stupid. Oh, God. Was there more? I feel like there's more.
They burned another bridge, too. They said something about another game, and I don't remember what it was, but they were basically just like saying everything sucks except for Call of Duty.
Wow. Like,
That's the hill that they're going to be dying on, apparently.
Which I don't understand.
Enjoy your Square Enix exclusivity. I'm sure they won't put out anything bad. Oh, right.
Listen,
Square.
we just need to pray for Forspoken. I really want that game. It looks so good.
At this point, I don't care.
You
know what I mean? Like, I just
care. No, I do. I know what you mean.
After the horse shit that they've been putting out, and for the decade or so that they owned IDOS and were just shitty about, they're not doing enough sales. All right. Enjoy
and then
Babylon's Fall. Oh wait, that's shut down. Enjoy Balan Wonderworld. Oh right, that guy's being fucking
he's in jail.
taken in by the government. Yeah.
Square Enix.
Good partnerships you make there, Square. You fucking assholes. And so yeah, when they make stuff exclusive to PlayStation, well, if it bombs, oh well, you fucking leave the bed.
And then finally, the last piece that came out of this was the FTC said that it's possible that they could sue Xbox, and then Activision came out and said, we're willing to fight. This thing is just a mess. It's a mess everywhere. Sony's burning every bridge they can. They sound ridiculous in their reports. I just want this shit to be over. I'm so tired of hearing about it. I don't care anymore.
I agree. I think it's gonna go through. Honestly, I don't like. I've read a bunch of different stuff. I think even Michael Packer said something about the FTC things, that if they did take it to court, they would end up losing.
Now, Michael Packer doesn't have the best track record.
That's true.
He's he's like the guy who, I'm pretty sure he said the Amico would be a success.
Nice. Well, okay.
He said Nintendo was going to fail with the Switch.
Okay, He's awful. I'm just saying that he's the only person that I can recall that commented on this. But I'm just saying, I personally, let me just put it that way, I don't have the best track record. At least I don't think. I think that I think it probably will go through, and I think I hope it does. But I think that you're right. I think Sony is burning a lot of bridges. And they're going to wait at the 11th hour on this 10-year deal and be like, okay, we'll take it. And Microsoft going to be like, no, we'll give you a year and a half. Like, I mean, I don't know. I wish it would just be wrapped up, because it's turning into the most.
I think go ahead.
Michael Pachter said that Nintendo should drop the Switch and only have Switch Lite.
I conceded your point and said that he was awful. And you were Googling more examples.
Dude, it's not even you. I just like dunking on Michael Pachter because he makes me look good in comparison with my guesses, and I'm shit.
Oh my god!
And in this particular scenario, I don't deny what he's saying with the Microsoft, Activision, and suing, and FTC, and all that shit. But, like, his predictions are so bad, and it makes me feel a lot better when I make a single prediction right, because it's like, oh, I'm just some random asshole. This guy gets paid.
He gets paid for it, yeah, right? I got you.
He gets clicks because he says dumb shit. and I just give it out for free. God damn, I'm dumb.
You should be charging for your bad takes.
My hot take.
I mean, Joker said if you're good at something, you shouldn't do it for free, man.
I mean, everybody else out there is getting paid for their bad opinions.
Yeah.
So why not you?
Come to us. We don't charge the audience for our bad takes, and you can just send us these death threats.
Maybe that's why we're
Free.
not successful, is because we don't charge for it. I don't know.
I don't
I thought I had another news story, but I guess I do not. I think that's all the news. Drew, do you want to talk about any video games since you showed up?
I played some.
What'd you play?
Overwatch 2. I'm kidding. I did play some Overwatch 2, though, but I there are a few games that I want to talk about.
We'll do that before I do the tweets, because we're done. Like, there's not much going on this week. It's a holiday week. It's never a big week.
I have news.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, so first thing I want to mention is Vampire Survivors is absolutely fantastic.
Damn right it is.
I love that game. And I feel like I've made no progress in that game whatsoever.
I see people beating it. I didn't even know you could beat it.
So, do you go to a different level, or is it always the outside level?
Nah, you go to a different one. Once you
Okay.
reach the time limit on each of the levels, you'll unlock the next level. Because I think I just unlocked the fifth level this morning, actually.
Gotcha. So I haven't even ran into a boss yet. I ran into like the giant praying mantises that show up, but I always die before I get there. I guess I just need to power up more. I love that game. That game is. I like that game more than Survivor.io. And none of that's blasphemy.
I know.
I didn't even play that game. I don't even know what it is.
Survivor.io is the same. It's literally the same game. It's just this game is Castlevania skinned.
Yep.
It's basically like if Survivor.io had a Castlevania event.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I said. Vampire Survivors would be so, like, I would love it so much more if Konami just, like, let them theme it Castlevania. You know what I mean?
let them have the music, let them have all the stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I'm addicted to that game. I am playing, I don't think anybody else has talked to it, unless Ken, you've been secretly playing it. The last Dark Pictures anthology game.
No, I haven't played it.
I haven't made it as far as I need to yet. But I'm playing the last one, which is called The Devil in Me. They've added a few things. There's a few things that are a little bit different. So this time your characters have like an inventory. I'm getting some vibes of Sweet Home, if anybody is familiar with that game.
That rings a bell. That's an old
Famicom RPG that inspired Resident Evil.
That was like the first survival horror game.
Okay.
Because each character in there had a specialization in that game. One person could do certain things, and in this game, it's kind of the same way. Like there's a person who knows how to lockpick, so they can get into places. And there's another character can take pictures. There's another character. Like characters have different attributes. They can break into stuff differently, stuff like that. So you have that aspect of it where, I'm playing as this guy, so I can probably go through a door, or I'm playing as this person who can probably hotwire something. As far as the content goes and the story, they're really pushing the H.H. Holmes mythos. You play as a bunch of people who are making a documentary, about H.H. Holmes. And this guy secretly contacts them saying, I have this residence on this private island that is basically a remodel of his murder hotel. And I've got a lot of his memorabilia. You guys come, take a look at it, film the place, that kind of thing. But he's a weird dude. He contacts you through like cryptic messages and stuff like that. And then you finally meet him and it's like, this guy's really weird. And there's somebody walking around dressed up like H.H. Holmes trying to kill people. I mean, I said it. It's not really a spoiler. You know what this game's about. I mean, it's try to survive the night. It is Until Dawn, but in smaller forms. it still has that. If you play Until Dawn and if you play The Quarry, you can tell they put their time and money into those games.
Yeah.
The Dark Pictures games are obviously time restraints and low budget. And it doesn't really come through with the acting. I think the acting's fine. They get real world actors to do this stuff. That's totally fine. In fact, I would even say the stories are okay for the most part. It's just the technical issues. And this one doesn't have as many technical issues. It's Ken, you've played enough of these.
Oh yeah.
You know whenever you make a choice, right? And you'll get like 3 quick scenes of somebody just staring and then somebody like doing something and you're like, what? Like, what did I just see? And you can tell, you can see through the linings, right?
Oh yeah.
Of like, the game is thinking, okay, he made this choice. Now what do we need to show him? And while they're thinking that, they're showing just a character just staring off into space or doing something like picking something up and putting it back down. I'm like, what was that scene? Like this, like 3-second scene.
It's like it got
of
confused of what it was supposed to do.
Of what it was supposed to show you. Yeah. And that happens in this game too. It's happened in every one of them. And you can tell it's just like, they try. I mean, I give them credit. Like they try to really push the whole the choices matter, and if because you did this affected this later on. And the Quarry did it really good, and the other games did it really well too. Like Man of Medan did it really well. House of Ashes did it really well. I'm jumping over the fact that I didn't like Little Hope that much. Little Hope was obviously the weakest in this entire series. I didn't mind the twist; it was okay. But anyway, this one's okay. It's basically, Escape from the Murder Guy, but it's okay. The characters are fine. They reuse a lot of the same characters, so it's so much like how they do in like a American Horror Story or something like that. They reuse characters or reuse actors for different characters. And so you'll recognize right away I remember this guy from this thing. I remember this person from this thing. So, but it's okay. It's okay. I would say it's up there on par with like Man of Medan. I still think I like the story and the reveal of House of Ashes more. House of Ashes was wild.
That's not the witch trials, is it?
No, that House of Ashes was the Afghanistan.
Okay, I know.
During
Little Hope was the witch trials.
Okay,
Little Hope was the witch trials.
I can't keep the name straight.
Little Hope had too much shit going on. Better fucking figure it out.
The twist in Little Hope sucks.
I didn't mind it. It was okay.
I'd seen it. If I hadn't seen it a billion times before and done better.
Little Hope was trying to push that classic Twilight Zone ending.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And I was
one.
like, yeah.
I liked the Man of Medan. I liked the
Man of Medan had the kind of the Twilight Zone ending too.
It did, but it was done better. Like Little Hope is just like, come on.
Yeah. But the thing is like House of Ashes was like legitimately, this is
that
you can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't. I don't want to spoil any of these, but
No,
Man of Medan
no.
and Little Hope, Man of Medan and Little Hope had this twist that was like, so that's what's going on. And it set up those expectations. When you go into House of Ashes, you're like, okay, this is obviously something that we've seen in previous games in this anthology. But then they're just like, no, this is actually happening. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Like when you go into the thing and you're like, what the fuck? Come on.
You're like, well, this is actually real. All right. Okay. And you're like invested. Okay. Well, let's see what this goes. And in this one, they kind of play it safe, I would say.
That makes sense with the murder, like H.H. Holmes stuff. That makes sense though.
Yeah. I mean, it's Jason Voorhees is chasing you. Yeah. Basically, get out of, don't get killed. But yeah, no, and I don't know what their plan is. I know that they came out and said that the evil in me, or the devil in me, the devil in me is
season finale.
The season finale. Now, what does that mean? Nobody actually knows. They haven't detailed it. from what I understand, they're probably going to be taking a break from the dark pictures.
Well, I think it's going to depend on if Bandai Namco is like, you made us enough money, we'll pay you again, because that's who's doing those.
How successful are these games?
I don't think they're all that successful. I'm going to be real honest with you.
I don't either, if we're being honest.
I think they depreciated in value very quickly.
Yeah, Man and
Banana
did pretty well, I think.
Both in money and as releases went on, interest.
It didn't help that in between the dark pictures, they made a better game. Like, that doesn't help your cause.
That was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, like you built, like, it seems like all of my effort went into the Quarry while I was, half-assing these games in between, and it just doesn't sit right, I'm sure. It's just weird.
That was very strange. Who published The Quarry?
It was 2K.
2K. They got 2K money for that one.
Yeah, they got that GTA money from them.
Yeah.
It's not like
Quarry was
Bandai
really
Namco
good.
is poor, dude. They have all the anime licenses. They sell a shitload of games. Like,
I mean, I get it. I like that's. I don't know. I still like these games. I still think that they have a little charm to them. And some of them are legitimately creepy. Like there's been instances in this one that's like really creepy because it's like, it was supposed to be like a I wouldn't say fun house. It was supposed to be like an amusement thing. So there's a lot of animatronics, and sometimes the animatronics just like turn to you and like, oh Jesus Christ. They do some pretty good stuff like while you're playing. There was a few times, if you remember in Man of Medan, like you would just be playing the game, like exploring, and then something in the background would happen, and you'd be like, "Oh, what the hell was that?"
Oh yeah,
that happens a few times in this too. So, and they have full co-op. You can play online with people, and see a different side of the story. Like that's
still where Little Hope falls apart if you think about it too much.
Yeah,
true.
It does.
It's true. That's very true.
I don't know. Those games are fine, but I think
they're
fine.
fine.
They're done. I do think they're done.
Yeah. They may not continue with this series, unfortunately. But I mean, if they want to make another quality Quarry style or Until Dawn style game, go for it. Take a couple of years to do it. And you have yourself a really solid horror game, because I'm pretty sure the Quarry sold pretty well.
Oh, I don't know. But at the same time, like, have you heard anybody talk about the Quarry?
Probably the first 2 weeks people talked about it a decent amount, but after that it kind of just died off. But I mean, it's one of those games where you're one and done kind of thing.
I know, but like, it's not, nobody even mentions it. Like, we're getting to what were the best games that came out this year, and I don't even think I've even seen it mentioned once.
Oh, it will be making an appearance on my list.
Well, there you go.
I thought it was great.
I
know a lot of
played
people.
it. So.
I know a lot of people said they didn't like it, but I mean, I thought it was great. I think it was the best. I prefer it over Until Dawn.
Oh, that's big words, because Until Dawn is still their best game in my opinion.
I think Until Dawn's a fantastic game, but it's hard to go back to now because we finished the Quarry and went back to Until Dawn. And I was like, I don't know about this. They refined a lot in the Quarry.
Maybe I should.
They really did. You really do, dude. If you like these games, why have you not played the Quarry yet?
Dude, I don't know. I haven't played much of anything.
Well,
I've got the Quarry sitting on my hard drive. I haven't played it.
Dude, it's good. It's really good. And then the other game that I want to talk about that I played a good amount of is Pokemon.
There it is.
Pokemon. I'm playing the Scarlet version. How do I
Scarlet letter B for Buggy.
It is that is the one thing that you cannot escape. No matter like oh, this is a one-off thing. Oh, he fell through the map. No, I fell through the map. And you can say it's definitely the limitations of the Switch, but we need to start saying Game Freak may not be the greatest.
They don't have to be. That game sold 10.2 million copies.
Yeah, I don't think it was the Switch, man. At this point, it's Game Freak. Like, that game is just the examples that I've seen, like, it's just bad.
Arceus ran better.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
So I've never played Arceus.
Neither have I, but I know people that have played
have.
both, and they're like, I don't understand how Arceus plays better.
I don't know.
Game
I don't
Freak. But who, like you said, who's going to hold them accountable when you sell 10.2 million copies? Who cares?
It's true. It's true. I mean, it's
But
just
it-
like it's
listen,
weird.
but-
Like the game looks like a PlayStation 2 game sometimes,
I mean,
And
that's
I'm just
being
like-
generous.
and I'm just like, man, like, why does it run like this? Like, there's so much slowdown. I'm talking like we're going into the teens of frame rates here,
Yep.
and I was
It's
like, there's
bad.
not much on screen.
It doesn't even start good. Like, I booted up and played the tutorial, and like it slows down in the house as soon as you start the game.
Jeez. The textures are nice. Like,
No, they're
especially
not.
from Arceus. No, okay. God dang it. Steve, worst coach ever. No, you're wrong. Shut the fuck up. Let me explain.
Why are you not healing me? Where's my healers?
Right. Like, I'm
Behind a
saying in
wall, 2
comparison
rooms away.
to Arceus, some of the Pokemon themselves aren't just like a color, like a flat color. They actually have like some texture on them if you look closely. I'm not trying to give them any kind of real credit because the game is,
No,
pretty bad. But,
no, you're correct. So the attention to detail goes into the character models, like both the Pokemon and the characters and stuff like that. It's just the environments look like garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, the environments look bad.
And performance.
That happens all the time, Ken. Like, that happens all the time. Anytime I try to capture a Pokemon or get into a battle,
Look at the texture on the mountain.
if the battle starts on a hill, you're gonna see inside the map.
I could see
Guaranteed.
the roots of the trees.
Yeah.
And see, in Arceus, because oh my god, it makes no sense. In Arceus, you could start a battle on a hill, and your Pokemon trainer would be, because in that game, I noticed in this one you can't do that. You can like run your trainer around while you're actually fighting. Like, you can still control your trainer even though you're doing the Pokemon fight. You can't do anything; you're just moving around. But if it's on a hill, like the game, like it looks right. Like the Pokemon are like. He's not standing straight, like he actually is standing on a hill, so he's sloped at an angle and everything. So it makes no sense that this is so broken. Like, how did they get from Arceus to this?
I think they wanted to keep it like a traditional RPG. Like, when you go into a battle, you go into like your standard fixed cameras and choosing your menus and stuff like that. While in Arceus, you could kind of run around and do stuff while stuff was happening. I don't know. I obviously I feel like this game needed probably another 6 to 7 months in the oven, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
But there's things about it I really like. Like, I like the feeling of exploration. Oh man, we're looking at Assassin's Creed Unity stuff. There's like the exploration's really cool. Like, the open world's nice. I mean, granted, one of the things that gets me is, like, there is no more like random battles. If you want to get into a battle, you got to walk up to a Pokemon you see,
Yeah.
And they kind of give you that open feel. Like, once you finish the quote tutorial, once you get through the school part, they just say go. Like, here's a couple of examples of where you should go, but you can go wherever you want to. In fact, I apparently, talking with some coworkers, I took on the second gym first on accident. I didn't mean to. But I don't think there is no like level scaling, so I think you could very well go to the last gym first and just get wrecked. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah. I don't know if you can do the gym, but there's not level scaling. You're right.
Yeah. So it is kind of like, if you want to explore, you kind of need to at least gate me in like, hey, you might not want to go here yet. But I don't know. There's a good amount. There's like three big things that you can do that are like quest lines. Basically, take on the gym leaders, capture all the Pokemon, take down the team, the the Team Rocket is Team Star in this one. Take down the teams or find the kind of like the Titans or what they're called. There's a very large Pokemon, and just doing those 3 main quest lines. I mean, that could easily take you 50 hours. So it's a beefy game. It's just I feel like there's some things about it, like running around the world feels a little soulless. There's no more like going into a lot of buildings and stuff like that. It's more like you go into a town, and it used to be like when you made it to a town, that was like your next hub, where you were going to be for a while, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, it's just like you're just passing through.
See,
kind of thing.
What's wild is everything that you're saying that this doesn't have, Arceus has. Like when you go into a town at Arceus, it's your hub. Like you run around the town, you can go into buildings, you can go into people's houses. Like I don't understand. Like why did they take it away? Because like Arceus was what I wanted Pokemon to be. It was just set, in like the feudal time. So it was back in the day, like it had a crafting system, so like you would craft your Pokeballs and stuff on the go because it was a new technology. So I was thinking they were just going to take the open world system and all that stuff from this and put it in the modern day, which was Violet and Scarlet. And I was hoping it was just going to be the best of both worlds and be great, but I don't understand. Like, what was the thought process? Like, that's so weird to take steps back.
Yeah, I do like the crafting they have in this game. So there is a crafting.
It does do crafting.
So it has crafting for all the TMs. So all the technical machines, you can craft them. They're single use again, but you can now craft them using Pokemon parts. So every time you battle a Pokemon or you capture a Pokemon, you will get like some feathers from the Pokemon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you use that to create new moves with the TMs, and you can do that at like a Pokemon Center. And see, that's the thing, is like Pokemon Centers are now just like these little kiosks out in the world that you can just walk up to. The same way with the Pokemarts. The Pokemarts are the same. It's right there next to it. It's the same kiosk, basically. You just talk to a different person. I don't know. Like I like. There's so many things I like about this game, but there's so many things I'm just like, why? Why would you do this? Like, I think they're in a weird transition period.
Is it multiplayer, like open world? Like when you run around, you see everybody else. Okay.
No, not right now. Not right now. No. Like so what you can do is you can co-op the game with friends. I haven't done it, but from what I understand, you can have up to 4 trainers running around like in a party, and you guys can just go explore.
Oh man, I bet the frame rate on that is amazing.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
The only question I have is that, like, when you go into a gym, do you just disappear from your other 3 teammates for a little while and do that? Because obviously you can't fight stuff together. I wouldn't think.
Right.
I don't know. I haven't explored that yet, and I don't know if I can. That's the issue, is that I can, unless I collaborate with people. Like, I don't know if I can just invite randos into my game, and do I want to play with randos? Is the better question.
Isn't that the reason why Gotham Knights runs at 30 frames a second? Because it's open co-op?
Yes. It's untethered. That's what they said, because it's untethered.
That's what they said.
Yeah, but it's that's okay. So in Arceus, you could do raid battles with people. Like, you go into them, and it was like 6. Like, you had to fight the Gigantamax Pokemon.
Yeah, that happens here too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can also do those solo with just like AI partners.
Yeah, you could do. Yep, that was in Arceus. You could do that too. It's just so weird that they had features in Arceus that they took out of this that would have made sense to put in this. Like, what the heck? I guess it don't matter because it sold 15 million copies or whatever. So it doesn't matter.
Nobody cares.
All of this doesn't matter.
Nobody cares. Just sell that money. Give me that money, boy.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, did anybody else talk about this?
I only played the tutorial and it is fucking slowed down like crazy.
Well, I'm the only person that's talked about this on the podcast so far.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
Really?
playing.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not going out to buy a buggy mess. No, thank you.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, full disclosure, I'm not that deep into the game. I've beat one of the Titans. I've beaten 2 of the gyms, and I have taken on one of the Team Star places. They have like little bases of operations that you have to take down. So it definitely feels like it has that open world feel of like, you can go here and do this if you want to, or you can go in here and do this. So you can go wherever you want to. Obviously, there are places you don't want to go because you'll just get wrecked, I guess. And if you do need some direction, you can talk to the people at the Pokemon centers, and they will kind of point you, say, hey, look, on your map here, there's these places of interest, basically.
Are you saying you can go your own way?
Yeah. I guess you can. But
Mac.
you are correct. You are correct. The goat, if you will.
Yes, Stevie Nicks. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Lindsey Buckingham doesn't get enough credit.
I know.
Is that everything? Because I have some new stuff.
I mean, that's pretty much all I can say. I mean, Pokemon. There's a lot of things I really like about this game, but then there's also some that's like, dude, I've just finished like the tutorial area. Before you even finish the tutorial, you can capture probably 40 Pokemon. Like,
Yep,
I've already captured like 70 Pokemon.
Pokemon!
So, I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon in this game. There's over 400 Pokemon in this game.
Oh my god, that's too many.
It's a lot.
They're up to
I think
1,000 now.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Yeah.
Like, they announced the 1,000th Pokemon. I didn't even look at the picture. Like, I saw a little outline, but I was like, damn, man, I remember when there was only 150.
They also have not added the Pokemon. I get, was it the bank now? Is that what it's called, or is it Pokemon? I can't remember what it's called.
I think it's home, where
Pokemon
you can
Home.
share all your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't even added that to this game yet, but they said it is coming, so you will be able to like.
I don't know when they're
See,
doing
and that's
that.
ridiculous because they did the same thing with Arceus. It didn't launch with Arceus. Like, you had all this time.
Does it even work with Sword and Shield yet?
Yeah, it does.
Now, I think so. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
because it was at launch. They didn't have that either.
No, they haven't had this at launch at any time, and I think the reason why they do that is because they don't want you like transferring a level 50 Pokemon just wrecking through the game.
Oh, the economy. I got you. Yeah, I guess that would be different since it's online now too.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to break the game. They break it enough for you.
Jeez.
Get him.
This got the jokes for days over here.
I mean, it's not hard with this game.
No, I mean, it is unfortunate because I think there's some pretty good ideas here. You know, they experimented with Arceus. They're implementing in this one. If this is the route that they're going to go with Pokemon in the future, they really need to work on this. I feel like the formula is okay. I think it will get old fast if we're not careful.
Do they? Do they need to work on things? Because it doesn't seem like they do.
15 million copies says they don't.
We're just gonna boycott the game and not buy it.
Sure.
And
sure. I believe none of that.
In 3 days. Like,
I
that's
always love that.
crazy.
I'm not buying any more of these games.
Yeah, you did. Y'all bought it. Everybody bought it. Nobody cares.
Like Bayonetta? Yeah.
Gotham Knights and Pokemon prove that we are the vocal minority when it comes to technical issues. Nobody gives a shit.
I mean, some of these are pretty bad, though.
Yeah, but it's still sold millions, and it'll sell millions more. Gotham Knights was like, what, number 2 in the month it came out after all that hoopla online? Well, I'm not buying it. It's only 30 frames a second.
Yep.
30 frames a second is not broken. This game can sometimes be broken. I fell through the map, guys, and had to reload.
More.
Yeah.
I mean, that just makes it worse. Like, it's just because and you're right, and it's not going to change, and it's so sad that they can get away with shipping a broke game. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's Pokemon.
There you go. That's pretty much it for me, though.
All right, Anthony, go ahead.
So, I know none of us play it, but Half-Life Alyx has a full new, like, fan-created mod called Levitation that's out, and I watched a trailer of it, and if you told me it was made by Valve themselves, I would believe you. Apparently this guy has made one of the team members has done a bunch of CS:GO maps that have been added to the game permanently. So it's really impressive looking. The Long Dark is getting a season pass or expansion pass, and there's a new chapter in that. So anybody that's looking for that, that's a pretty neat survival game where it's more about survival and not like survival horror. But it gets creepy. Do you remember how Anoma, the Square Enix Montreal, is closing?
Mm-hmm.
All their games are shutting down on January 4th. So that's Arena Battle Champions, Deus Ex Go, Hitman Sniper, The Shadows, and Space Invaders Hidden Heroes.
Mm.
And then they will be removed December 1st from the stores. So
Cool. Gotta love it.
Arena Battle Champions never actually released. It's still in soft launch. I
Oh.
think it's only out in Canada.
Okay, then. Tetris the Grandmaster is getting an Arcade Archives release on Switch. Now, if you don't know what that is, it is the hardest version of Tetris possible. Released only in arcades. I think only one of the games got a home release, and that was Grandmaster 3 for Xbox 360 in Japan. There's a lot of rights issues, so I'm surprised it's coming out at all. But if you've ever played the master mode in Tetris Effect, it's essentially that mode, but then like blocks go invisible. All the blocks go invisible, and you have to still do Tetris and stuff. It's pretty intense. My friend has an arcade board of either Grandmaster or Grandmaster 2, so I've played it that way. If you like Tetris, that's that needs to be on your 2 playlist. Weird West has patch 1.05 out. Includes mod support and a first-person mod. So now you can play Weird West in first person, which is kind of crazy. And then, does anybody know what X Troopers is?
Why does that sound familiar?
Because it's a Lost Planet game that was released only in Japan.
Oh, what is it? Is it EX Troopers that I'm thinking of? It's the
EX.
Genesis game?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
this is EX Troopers, technically, but
The
Yeah.
fuck is going on over there?
I don't know. It's a Lost Planet game that's like cel-shaded and super anime, and we never got it over here. But there's now an English fan translation available for the PS3 and the 3DS version. It's apparently built off of, and I didn't know this until when I was reading the comments on this patch. It's based off of the Mega Man Legends 3 engine
Ugh.
that we never got to play.
Oh, we were privileged not to play any more Mega Man Legends games.
Oh, fucking whatever. Anyways, I've played a bit of it in Japanese. It's a really fun game. It's a weird Lost Planet game that we never got. So if you like Lost Planet and you want more, hey, a fan patch is out now. Don't ask me where to get the game, but you know,
Oh,
it's out there.
I liked all the Lost Planets, including the Space Trucker one.
Yeah, EX Troopers, X Troopers, whatever you want to call it, and Lost Planet 3 didn't do well enough for the series to continue, and EX Troopers didn't do well enough in Japan even to warrant a release over here. So it's a shame, but from what I played of it, it's a really pretty looking game too because of its cel shadedness. So I just thought I'd bring those up.
Cool. Well, that's all the news.
One
go ahead.
more that's funny. Postal 3 has been delisted, and Running with Scissors said it's because it's shit and there was DRM issues. Their actual press release was the game is shit, and
that's fair.
the DRM issues made it impossible, so we just took it down. It's no longer for sale.
That's fine. Nobody cares. I do have some tweets. Tweet. Tate says he just realized he didn't listen to the last week's episode of the N4G podcast. He should do that. Curtis says, "What's up, fellas? Hope all is well. I've beaten Gungrave Gore and was wondering, should I play the other games that are on PlayStation 2, and are they worth going back to?" I mean, you kind of just did play it. It's the same game. He also wants to know who else liked the Black Adam movie. I liked it. I was surprised how good it was.
I've not seen it.
I ain't seen it yet. I
hear
want to
that's-
see it, but I haven't
that's-
seen it.
There's something big that happens at the end.
Yeah,
I only
it was
wanna-
spoiled and it's whatever.
I only want to
It
see.
was okay. It was what I thought it was. I mean, or what I figured it would be. I mean, it was. Yeah.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a rock movie, and Pierce Brosnan is the best part of it. Did I get it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
Good
all I
job.
want to see.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all I want to see is Doctor
The other
Fate.
Hawkman is awesome too. Like him and Dr. Fate are the best parts of that movie. The villain was not even needed. Like, oh god, yeah, it was what I thought it was. A popcorn action movie. I mean, sit back, relax, and see some explosions and some fights. Whatever.
I don't understand why they're trying to turn Black Adam into a hero.
That's actually when you watch the movie and get the story, you're like, really? Like it's a bit of a stretch, but just watch the movie. Like it's
The
whatever.
whole point is that Shazam exists because Black Adam's an asshole. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, not anymore. This
I would like-
changes a lot.
I'd totally be down for a Hawkman movie based off of the Hawk World 3-parter limited series by Timothy Truman. It's a good story, and I like Hawkman.
Shogun says, "So I bought Gotham Knight. I don't care about the 30 frames per second. The game is fun, but goodness, the traversal is such pain. The game is a giant step backwards. It seems like they rushed this game out. Locking skill tree points behind challenges is not fun, but worth $40.
Yep, he is right. The only traversal that I really like, well, the two, Batgirls and Nightwings. Nightwings just because you can actually go anywhere, like up, down, whatever with his, but Batgirls isn't bad because it's kind of like Batman's from the Arkham games, but yeah.
Shogun says about Black Adam, "It was the best, worst movie I have seen. Would definitely watch again. Dr. Fate and Hawkman stole the show." There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Shogun also says, "You guys talked about Battlefield a few weeks ago. I've been playing 2042 in shame since launch because I bought the special whiz-bang $100 edition and I was determined to get my money's worth. So 150 hours later, the gunplay is superb. Over the year, they have fixed a lot. Try it."
Damn.
Look,
Look, again, yep, told you, it actually is good. They fixed it.
It's more of like, look, I totally understand if you thought you were gonna get. There was no reason why that game should have been as bad as it was. There's no
I agree.
reason. So I totally don't blame the audience for spending that type of money on that game. Like, it's one of those hey, if it comes with the battle pass and all that shit, I totally get it. Save yourself a couple bucks and just buy it outright. But it's just one of those things where it's like, Jesus, they really botched the landing.
Hey, Sony told me it sucks, so I listened to Sony.
Sony also said their back catalog sucks, and then they tried to turn face, and really they just did nothing.
Yeah, they were like,
"Yeah,
"Yo,
see, all these classic games are adding to our service." Whoops, no, we aren't.
what classic games? What classic games have you added to your
That's
service?
my point.
I would
Ken.
love to see them. I'm trying to give you money for your classic games, but you won't give them to me. Instead, you locked me into 2 years of this shitty service that I can't downgrade.
Let me tell you
messed
something.
up.
I tried giving them money the other week.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to get Alone in the Dark, the new Nightmare, which is a PlayStation 1 game. It's a PS1 classic on a PlayStation 3. I have my PlayStation 3. I was going to give them money so I could play this game for Phoenix Down. I could not find a way to give them money.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I did it a few months ago when I picked up Castlevania and Maximo. And I had to jump through 40 hoops to give them money for that.
So what ended up happening was I gave less money to Good Old Games and got it that way.
Yeah. Sony doesn't
So
want
there
your
you go.
money.
You also paid less than what you would have paid for on PlayStation Network for probably a better version of the game.
True. Or you could have
So there
just,
you
I don't know, shmimulated it. And you
I'm okay with paying $1.30 for Alone in the Dark.
We could have like increased the textures and frame rate and all kinds of
Yeah.
cool stuff.
All
Yeah,
kinds of
but
cool
like
stuff in
not
emulation. Emulation
You could do that.
Freezing
you
code.
could do that on the PC version too with like a fan patch or something.
Sure.
That's probably a lot easier than shmemulation.
Yeah, RetroArch's pretty easy. It's pretty easy. You just tell it
Yeah, I
what
don't.
you just tell it what you want it to do and it do it. It's kind of nice.
I'm just gonna play it like I was.
Try that one because I'm gonna have to get that one.
But that's all the tweets. No emails this week. Lots of video games. We're getting close to that end of the year discussion, so you better figure out what games you're gonna play. Pick your top 10 games of the year, and why is it, of course, God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, or sorry, Forbidden West, because
Well, what show is that? What day is that?
it's in
you know?
January. We
Usually
do
the
it,
first one
like
in
after the
January.
year is over. That's how
Yeah.
we do that.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't know how much time I had. Like I was going, like I'm just gonna get a list. I'm gonna be prepared. I'm gonna be professional with this. This is gonna be great. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know how much time I had. So okay.
So
Anyway.
why is everybody's favorite game Sonic Frontiers? And don't worry if you hear a gun click. I'm definitely not pointing it at anybody's head.
Oh, Sonic Frontiers. There's a lot of games to talk about this year. There's been a lot of video games, and probably some you forgot, including that Elden Ring. That came out this year. God of War is on our list.
Yeah. Those two games I have not played.
And all those hot first-party exclusive Xbox games. Man, there was a bunch of those.
Yep. Pentiment, man.
That's their only first party, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Outside of the 1.0 release of
Grounded.
Halo.
Grounded.
Grounded, yeah.
Halo's still not
I mean-
1.0. Don't lie.
What's that one that weird game, the adventure game? As Dusk Falls.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, that- Yeah.
No. I'm waiting to do my list until at least High on Life comes out, because I think that's probably going to be on my list, because I like that kind of humor.
Agreed.
She's gonna
I
keep
think it's
ramping,
gonna
gonna
be on my
talk for
list.
hours, gonna talk for minutes, gonna keep going, keep
So,
going. Shoot
Anthony-
that guy,
You know
come
what?
on, damn,
I don't know if
That's
you
not
know
a good
this.
gimmick. I just keep burning out. Keep
Wait,
talking like this. Keep talking with the funny voice. Keep going. Keep shooting.
Can you
things.
let me talk
I just
for a
don't
second?
stop. But just keep talking. Keep filling the noise space. Can't have any silence.
That's only one gun.
Dude, that's
You know who
every
the
fucking
second gun
character.
is? Nope. You know who the second gun is?
Who?
JB Smoove. The guns are not all
Yep.
voiced by Royland.
Yeah,
Royland's
that
gonna have
first-
more
that
than
one
one
gun
voice
is
in
the
this
freaking-
game, and you know it.
Oh, he does,
No, I
but
think that
Blair Sochi is one of the guns. JB Smoove is another gun. Like, there's 5 guns, and they're all different voices.
Oh, thank God.
You know what?
I didn't need- I
They
didn't
should
I
need-
think the only one of them sounds like Morty. Like there's only that one gun.
Yeah,
I thought I
but
read
here's-
that. Like that's the only one
here's-
he's doing.
Okay, well, because if you've played any of his other games, it's literally just that where I just did, where he's just vamping continuously.
Yeah.
And
I
then
played
you'll have
Clover Saves
I'll
the
have the other
Universe.
voice come in, and they're calling you an asshole, but I'm bleeping it out,
Yep.
so it's funnier. And then, oh, geez, they're gonna keep going. It's just, I'm like, oh my God.
I think
This
that's
is what
funny,
ADD
though.
is.
Maybe
I think it's
maybe I'm
funny.
a tool.
No, I'm a
Yeah,
tool too, because I think
he's
it's funny.
It's just one of those, like, oh my God, everything's the same.
So let me
Like,
ask you
this
this.
needs to be
I'm
one
excited about my own
game.
life.
Here's you a nice one. Who would you like to voice the guns?
I mean,
The Rock.
no.
I was being sarcastic.
I don't want The Rock to voice
Dwayne
anything.
Johnson. Me either.
How about
I want
hey,
Stephen
John Benjamin?
Stephen
Oh,
Wright.
okay.
Stephen Wright should voice all the guns.
No.
Can
John
I
Benjamin's
get
a
a
great
Samuel L.
call.
Jackson gun?
About to shoot these
one.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, one gun. He should voice just one.
Mark Hamill as the Joker,
Oh, hell yeah.
or as Majima.
Oh, Jesus. Nobody
Oh,
remembers who
dude
did
that
that.
does
I do.
Illidan's voice. I can't think of his name. He also does something on Vox Machina too, and League of Legends. Oh god, I can't think of his name.
Oh, the dude that does Deus Ex, Human Revolution guy.
Oh yeah.
Alex Tufexis.
There you go. That guy.
That guy.
Yeah. That guy.
That guy.
Simon Templeman. He should voice a gun. I'd love to have a gun voiced by Kane.
I mean,
God,
can
that'd
we
be
just
awesome.
can we just get those guys back? I can do a
Right.
Legacy of Kane game. That'd be cool.
Deviating for a bit, my favorite jokes that Royland did from Rick and Morty was, I mean, don't get me wrong, the episodes where they made all the TV shows off of just like doing whatever in the voice studio is funny. Yeah. But where they're going to the different planets and everything is on the cob, it's such a random fucking idea, and it's just that for some reason Rick has a severe aversion to staying on the cob planet. And
Yeah,
so
but they
have
never explained why.
No,
Like, I
I don't want to.
Because he was like, it was an emergency. We gotta go. Everything's on the cob. I'm like,
Yeah,
why is that
that's
a
what makes it
problem?
funny. If they explain it, the joke is no longer funny. I don't want to know.
Fair enough.
The fact
okay.
that, but it's just like they land on the perfect planet, and then the sun comes up,
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
and it's
that was
just
good.
screams.
I don't know.
Okay, so we have two choices. We have this planet or the planet that's super small.
I like.
It's just like, that's a great. You can't stay on the planet that's actually good because everything's on the cob.
What about a gun based on Scary Terry?
Come on,
I don't know who
bitch.
Scary Terry is.
Come on, bitch.
Scary Terry is the Rick and Morty version of Freddy
Freddy
Krueger.
Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
He
it's
just-
episode
right.
2,
Imagine
man.
everything with bitch.
Yeah.
I'm coming
So
for you,
good.
bitch.
You know, he's sadly passed away, but a gun that was Macho Man Randy Savage.
That would have been perfect.
I mean, I'd be
That
down
would
for
have
that.
been perfect. I would definitely be down for that. Man, that would be so good.
Yeah.
And it's just Macho Man. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
just
the
Macho
Macho Man gun.
Snap
Yeah.
it to a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I could really go for a Slim Jim right now.
I mean, he's in Skyrim.
No madness coming for you.
I'm
Just
gonna
going-
get you.
Here I come, brother. Oh, yeah.
And to harken back to last night, we could even have a couple of lines as Hacksaw.
And
Shoot
Jim
for
Dugan.
3 minutes.
You're going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes.
Oh, man. Good
I-
times.
I'm just trying to think about their voices. I had one that escaped me because Macho Man came to mind.
It's good
Oh
radio.
god,
here.
you know what they do though if they had started having like celebrity voice actors or just doing parodies of people? They'd have a Woody Allen gun and I'd hate it.
Oh, yeah. Of course it would.
Ugh.
Oh, hello.
The little
hello?
neurotic gun.
Hello? Oh, goodness. You just shot somebody. Oh, my God.
Turn
I
in
don't
John
know if I
Travolta
should
there a
be
little
doing
bit.
this.
You should do the John Travolta. Like, oh, my God.
Oh, my
Daddy shot
God.
somebody. Oh, my God.
They need to reload. Oh, my God.
I mean, how do you, at this point, how do you not have the Arnold gun?
That's true. Though, granted, there was an Arnold
It just
voice
it does
in,
the it does the
Magica.
scream. It does the scream that everybody does, the Arnold scream,
You
but
shoot
that's
it.
all it does when it fires.
Which he's never done, by the way.
No.
He kind of has in Total Recall.
Not that one, though. Not the one everybody does when they do an impression. Like, I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has never done that.
This is true. I don't know.
I'm governor of California. That's what the gun should say.
Oh, they'd have a Trump gun. Fire the best bullets.
I've got huge bullets. Huge.
The gun is tiny for small hands.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god.
All right, now we're just doing impressions, so we should probably get out of here.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
This is what we devolve into, unless you want to talk about Taco Bell.
No.
Anthony's still upset about that.
No, it was just one of those things where I'm like, I realized we hadn't talked about food on the podcast, and it just surprised me.
I'm hungry. I'm having pizza today.
I eat healthier now. It's not fun.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm good. I'm gonna eat some shit so I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Acid
Heartburn.
reflux. Yeah. Yeah, if you want to tweet us at N4G Podcast, you want to follow the site, it's at ZTGD content on Twitter. If that still exists sometime, because it's been supposed to break for like 2 weeks now. I don't know. It should break sometime soon.
I wouldn't say it's running well.
I mean, it's
Like,
hasn't been any
the
different for
code
me.
hasn't broken,
That's
but-
fine.
you know.
Follow us there till it
It's just-
breaks, because when it breaks, we're just going to post Gambus nudes.
All right, okay, sorry, this just came up. How is time
Why do you
selecting
have
the...
plural? Like, why do you have multiple dudes?
You know, I didn't even catch on to that.
Why do you only have one?
Right.
You should have
That's
more than
multiple.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Always carry a spare. Gotcha.
Time Magazine has selected the 10 best games of 2022. You know, the year that we're not done yet.
I mean, so did Keeley. So
Yeah, I suppose.
it's fine.
I
Everybody.
will. Okay, I will run down the 10 quickly because it's breaking. I guess they just posted it. Number 10 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Okay, they got a little respect from me already.
Number 9 was Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
It's a good game.
Number 8, Resident Evil Village: Shadows of Rose.
No.
They say because it's its own unique story that concludes the Winter Saga.
No.
Wait, what is this? What is this?
It's DLC.
This is
No.
Time
No.
Time Magazine's best
Games of the
video
year?
games of
What? Okay,
Yeah.
go. Sorry.
Number 7, Sifu.
Mm,
I
Okay,
like
number
Sifu.
I know
That was
you
a
do.
flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Number 6, it may be a bit of a cheat. It's not a bit of a cheat. It's a fucking cheat. Last of Us Part 1.
oh God.
Number
damn
six.
it.
See, that's a cheat. No.
And they're like, it may be a bit of cheat, which is why it couldn't be placed higher in good faith.
Oh, whatever.
Fuck you. Number 5 is Stray.
Ugh.
What? I
Ugh.
haven't even played that. Is it good?
No.
Okay, go on.
No.
Okay.
Number 4 is Elden Ring.
Oh, that. Oh,
What is their
oh.
number one?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man, because number 3 is The Quarry.
What the fuck? Okay.
Wow. I need to
Number
play
2
that.
is Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay, we know what
Oh,
number
boy.
1 is.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, and God of War Ragnarok is number 1.
No, Horizon Forbidden West above Elden Ring is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life, and I don't even like Souls games that much.
Yeah. That. Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
No,
not
you
gonna.
said it. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I mean, come on.
Makes me sick to my stomach.
Horizon is the most paint by number sequel I've ever played.
and
I'm not saying
and
it's
honestly,
not good,
I
but
don't think it's as good as the first game.
No,
The
it's
story is great. The story is exactly what I wanted it to be. But I had a way more. I stopped playing because I just wasn't having fun. I didn't find it fun to fight the robots.
I hate to tell you this, Anthony, but I said that about the first game. It has
Like the
never been fun to have a ranged weapon and have things bum rush you. That is not fun.
So, did you play the sequel at all?
No.
So here's the issue with the sequel. Not only do they all just bum rush you still, well, some of them, a lot of them do use ranged attacks now, which are even harder to get away from, I find, than the first game, that is. The weapons don't do as much damage. And my favorite weapon from the first game was changed from a machine gun to a shotgun. The Rattler doesn't fire like a machine gun anymore. It charges up as a shotgun. And it's like, well, fuck this game. They want you to do stealth, but as soon as you start attacking, you're out of stealth.
I'm sorry, and I know I'm going to get flamed for this, but why not? It's the end of the show. Nobody makes it this far anyway. I feel like these big budget Sony games that they keep putting out are not going to be as fondly remembered as some other great video games because they just, I don't know, man. They're starting to bleed together.
Yeah.
I will fully admit, God of War, the new remake or whatever you want to call it, is probably one of the best games I played last generation.
Dude, 2018 God of War is by far their best game. That and Spider-Man are really good.
I'm going to play Spider-Man.
I'm going to say something that's not controversial, but like, you know what makes God of War different than every other game? God of War has survived multiple generations of consoles.
Yeah, Kratos is a character that I grew up
from
playing.
The PS2, PS3, PS4, now PS5, and like you've seen this character grow, and they seem to consistently write the character well. So not so far to deviate from who that character is. But, yeah, I get it. Like technically, Last of Us is a PlayStation 3 game, but there's really only 2 titles in that series. It was so late in the PlayStation 3 era that most people played it on PS4. So it's not really that long of a franchise. Uncharted started on PS3, but like ended in PS4. And then they made a movie that no one remembers. And it's just, yeah, like all these big franchises, like Ratchet and Clank died off because they stopped doing the humor. Like, I hate to say it, but like they stopped being funny. There was not as much, it wasn't as well written, and so it just became the back burner game from Insomniac because now they do Marvel stuff. And like it's good, but like it's Spider-Man, you know? People were gonna buy it anyways, whether it was good or bad.
Yeah, but at least it's good. It's very good.
At least it's good. It's just, it's also a game that I go, yeah, it plays like a Spider-Man game. Like, I don't feel like I need to ever go back to it.
I feel like the stuff that is held the test of time, or stood the test of time, I should say, is, you know, stuff that's not first party. So look at Resident Evil. Resident Evil's an old franchise, been around since 1996, and still really good. You can go back and play the first one; it's still pretty good. And they haven't had a horrible game in there. Now that's subjective, obviously.
Some people will argue that.
Gun Survivor.
People didn't like Resident Evil 5. People didn't like Resident Evil 6. You know,
I loved 5 and liked 6. I'm the odd man.
I thought 5 was great. 6 was weird, and I saw what they were trying to do, and it was okay. But they haven't had a stinker, especially in the named ones, like the numbered ones.
The main line.
You could throw out Survivor and stuff like that or whatever. But like, and if you want to go that again, Final Fantasy's had some weird ones too. But I mean, that's one of the oldest franchises out there. But they still make games and they still sell. You know, and people still hold them in high regard when it comes to first party stuff. I mean, people can say, yeah, I grew up playing Halo, but there's been some pretty bad Halo games out there.
I mean, ever since Bungie left, they haven't been.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all 343's fault.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't play Halo anymore, and I grew up playing Halo.
And you know, like the flagship Sony games, Crash Bandicoot, that's not even a first party game anymore.
No,
well, it was never a first party game.
It was never a first party. Well, technically it was.
It was a second party game, if anything.
They
but it was
published
owned by
it, though.
Universal.
But they published
it.
I think they published it.
That's a second party.
Oh,
but I mean,
like Rare was second
I got
party.
You. Yeah, I got you. That makes okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. The stuff that stands the test of time are usually the third party stuff that may have started exclusive on a certain system, but eventually ventured out. Now, granted, we're still just fighting with Microsoft and Sony here. I mean,
with Nintendo,
if you switch to Nintendo, you can't beat it. I mean, like, everybody knows
game.
everybody knows who Mario is, and
Yeah.
Mario has had tons of great games. There's never been. I don't think there's been a mainline Mario game that's been bad.
No.
And same can be said for Zelda. You know, the mainline Zelda games have always been quality. Even the ones that people, Skyward Sword people thought Skyward Sword was garbage.
I mean, I'd argue that the ones that say I guess if you're counting them as handheld, never mind. Say that Triforce Heroes was probably its lowest point.
Nuts, Jesus.
Yeah, well, those are like spin-offs, though. Those aren't mainline.
Yeah, whatever. It still says Legend of Zelda, and it says Triforce Heroes.
I mean, there's a Mario Hotel and Wand of Gamelon.
That's not. That doesn't count. That doesn't.
I mean, that's
You know
the
that
same.
doesn't count.
That's the same difference, though.
No, it's not, because one of them is still published by Nintendo, and the other one was we accidentally made a decision with the devil.
What about Mario is Missing? Huh?
That one's bad, but that's a educational game. Anyways, I'm just looking at PlayStation franchises because I was like, yeah, they got rid of a lot of stuff.
No.
And it's like Astrobot, they don't do much with, even though they should do more with him.
He's still the best PS5 game. I'm gonna stand by that.
Ape Escape, they go back to sometimes, but not enough. Dark Cloud.
Here's Twisted Metal.
Dark Cloud, they let die after 2, which is a shame. The Getaway, they did 2 of and let die. Gravity Rush, they did 2 of and then let die. Infamous, they did 3 of and then let it die. Jack and Daxter. Jack and Daxter, what happened? Give it to someone else. I don't get it. Little Big Planet, they fucking went back to that well too many times and let it die. Medieval, they tried. It was never big enough of a series to warrant, but whatever.
Really.
Motorstorm. Where's Motorstorm?
That company is in EA now.
Yeah, well, that's because Sony, again, Sony had what was their PlayStation Portable developer? They had Ready at Dawn. Is Ready at Dawn still with?
Yeah, they just did.
Yeah,
I thought they were VR now.
Oh, I gotta look up Ready at Dawn.
Everybody remember the Order?
Yeah, they're now part of Oculus Studios.
I remember the Order. I didn't play it. I remember I've heard some people
they
love
did
it, most people hate it.
They did Daxter. They did the God of War PSP games. God, who did the There was another one.
Uncharted.
No, that wasn't them. The Lost Frontier. Who did that one? There was High Impact. Was another studio, and that team doesn't exist anymore. And they were doing PlayStation portable games. They did Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. They did Secret Agent Clank. They had Jack and Daxter: The Lost Frontier. And Sony just was like, all right, we're done with you now that we don't do the PSP stuff anymore. And it's just you had all these studios that could do things with your franchises that weren't the people that created them, like Sly Cooper.
They let a fan group make the last Sly Cooper game.
Yeah, and it was during the weird period where, what are we focusing on? PlayStation 3, the Vita, we know 4 is coming out. Yeah, Sanzaru has done some stuff, but not with, anybody specifically. Look at it, Sanzaru, now is part of Oculus Studios. Cool.
I mean, these new companies came in to buy these studios because they were making good games, and then they went off to make stuff nobody's paying any attention to.
But my thing is Sony has all these licenses and does nothing with them. So when God of War is the one that you would say is the best, I'm not surprised. It's the only one they've had constant releases for outside of Ratchet and Clank, which again I feel they've lost the point of. So.
I don't know why my Discord is going off. I don't see any messages.
Because he sent it to general inside the voice. So, all right. Anyways, let's wrap this shit up.
All right.
He's right.
What's next on Phoenix Down?
We're taking the week off, and then we're doing Alone in the Dark: The New Nightmare.
There you go. You want to shoot us an email at the podcast at ZTGD.com. I don't know, man. I'm all over the place. It was Thanksgiving. Everybody enjoy your turkey hangover. We'll be back next week with more video games. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.
Epic fail. Welcome to the N4G podcast. Oh, you can...
It's me, Mario.
Zero tolerance.
This is going to be a very interesting episode.
Gather time.
Greetings, programs. I got lost trying to find my way to the secret underground N4G Radio lair.
The Wombat.
I've always been being angry.
Killer Wolverine. Play games, not consoles. No fanboys allowed.
And then I killed the dragon.
Then I killed the dragon.